I was really enjoying that conversation, especially when Brian was talking about how great I am. But then you had to cut him off, Kayla. Damn it, Kayla.
Well, we actually do have you both on here together. And Becky, we want to know why you were here on the bump with Brian Koppelman, executive producer of Billions. Anything you'd like to tell us?
Well, I have a red hot exclusive for everybody out there, the WWE Universe and the entire universe, is that Becky Lynch is going to be making her debut appearance on Billions on the 5th of May. Or the 3rd of May, I'm still getting confused. I'm still getting confused with the way that the Americans write their dates, you know, because we write it backwards. Anyway, the 3rd of May, jot that down in your diary. I'm going to be on there. It was a dream come true. I'm a big fan of the show, a big fan of Brian, and it was spectacular. I'm excited for everyone to see it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Brian, Becky, for both of you, I can't wait to watch, but how did you guys first meet?
I think I wore that T-shirt, right? I was wearing a Becky Lynch gimmick at some big Billions event, and Twitter noticed, like, because someone asked me, like, what is that shirt? It was the one after she was arrested, you know, and the mugshot. And so I was wearing my mugshot tee, and my wife and I both got them because we both thought Becky was the biggest badass in the WWE, and I was wearing the shirt, and someone online said, "Are you a fan?" And I said, "The man rules." And then Becky and I started becoming pals. She came and did my podcast, and we hung out, talked, and then my partner, David Levine, and I, that's who I make the show with, the two of us said, people online said, will you write something for Becky? And quietly, Becky and I started making a plan with Dave, and we said, yeah, we have just the thing for her to do. I don't want to talk about exactly what it is, but, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, what was it like writing for the man? What was that experience like?
Well, I do want to talk for a second about Becky Lynch's professionalism as an actor. I will tell you something. First of all, we knew she was great on the stick, right? So it gave you a lot of confidence to write for somebody who's used to having to show up and to perform at a high level and who knew how to be an actor and use words. We watched a bunch of, you know, when you prepare for this kind of thing, you know, we couldn't just dial up Paul Heyman and ask him for advice. We had to do it ourselves. So we watched the documentary on Becky on the WWE network. We watched tons of her interviews, and then we just tried to create the character speaking the way that we saw Becky speak. Plus, I had gotten to spend a couple hours with Becky in New York talking, and so did David. And so we were able to kind of lock in. And then Becky came, and I swear to God, killed it. All the actors who worked with her, and I don't want to say exactly who got to work with her, all were like, can we put her on the show more? She can handle it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What did you say to that?
I said we've done it. I think we've done it. I think we've done it at this point.
Now, Becky, this is obviously such an incredible opportunity for you. Congratulations. I can't wait to see the episode. But you've had a few acting gigs in your career. Are you enjoying yourself? And are there any other roles that maybe you thought that you'd want to play? Or any projects you'd want to be a part of?
There's some exciting stuff coming up that I can't just talk about right now. Working on a few projects, but look, there's a lot of roles that I would like to play, and I think as somebody who's studied acting and who's been such a fan of theatre, like I have, like there's plays that I have in mind. One of my favorite plays is called The Pride of Parnell Street by Sebastian Barry, and there's a role in that I would love to play. There is another lady, an Irish boxer, who came over from Ireland, and she made it as a heavyweight champion in America, and that's somebody who I'd like to play. Her name is Deirdre Gogarty. So yeah, there are a few of the roles that I would like to play. But like I said, I love going out there. I love performing. I love getting to be a character, because with me, with wrestling, it's all a little bit intertwined. You know, it's me turned up to 50. Maybe this is just the way I am. Who knows? You know what I mean? But when you're able to step outside that and be somebody else for a little bit and challenge yourself emotionally and do what we love to do, which is tell stories in different ways. That's where I feel alive.
Well, quickly, I do want to mention your in-ring career and what you're doing right now. You have literally beaten every single person who has been thrown at you. Do you think there's anyone out there that can even come close? Anyone that's going to beat the man?
think that's arrogant to assume that there's not anybody. Because I think the thing is that once you start thinking that you're unbeatable, that's when you're beat. You know, it even came up with Shayna Baszler. When she thought she was most in control, that's when I beat her. That's when I rolled over. That's when she was most vulnerable. So I think you always have to stay on the ball. And like I said in my last promo on Raw a couple of weeks ago, whoever thinks they can beat me, I'm challenging them to take that briefcase, pick a time and place, and I'm going to shock the world again.
Brian, though, kind of piggybacking off of that, as a lifelong fan and obviously as a big fan of Becky and someone who's worked with her, do you have any Becky Lynch dream matches? Anyone you'd like to see the man face off against?
Well, if I would say this, my money's on Becky, no matter who she's fighting. I'm in her corner no matter what the match is. I'm always enjoying when she fights Charlotte. But, as far as I can see, I think Becky's right. I mean, I think Charlotte is mostly riding on her dad's coattails. I don't think she has the right to get in the ring with Becky Lynch.
Speaks the truth.
I think that
the
I think
man
Charlotte's
speaks
awesome.
the truth. The man speaks the truth.
Charlotte,
Don't go back on it.
Charlotte's awesome. But for me, no, I don't think there's anybody. I think they should start throwing them at Becky 2 at a time.
Oh,
I'd be down for that.
Becky 2 opponent.
There we go.
Now, Brian, you kind of mentioned this earlier. You talked about Becky's absolute professionalism and skill set when it came to being on the set, and you've been around some top tier talent in your career. So where do you see Becky potentially taking her acting career?
Well, all right, now to give like the full honest answer here, like not with any WWE hype, like Becky really did. She really came in and nailed it. No jive, no hype, no spin on it. Like this was a professional. If you know Becky's history, what you're doing, as she just referenced, she studied acting. She did it for a number of years. She was also on sets a lot as a stunt person, watching, picking up on how the craft works. And the truth is, she came in and she was utterly professional. The other actors really did enjoy working with her. When you see the performance, you will understand that this is somebody who could do this for like her life. And look, Becky's an elite athlete and is in a period of her life where being an elite athlete is something, even in wrestling where people have long careers, it's shorter than the span of time you could be an actor. But I have no doubt in my mind that if that's something Becky set her mind to and wanted to do, she could do it. She has the talent for it. But more than that, look, a lot of people have talent. She has the work ethic for it. She showed up prepared. She has a good amount of dialogue she has to do in the show. She had the dialogue memorized stone cold. She came in. She did it as many times as we needed her to do it, and as many camera angles as we needed. And she just completely knocked it out of the park. That's as genuine and it's a total shoot answer to the question.
Awesome. All right. Well, Brian, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little insight into what we can look forward to and Becky Lynch's Billions debut. Again, that's May the 3rd. Not May the 5th, right?
May the 3rd.
May the 3rd on Showtime. Becky, we cannot wait to see you do your thing on the big screen. And thank you so much for joining us here on The Bump. And we'll see you guys soon.